guys, hey, just a little secret. Ceylon Cleo is my wife, and I am so fortunate that I met her. And I just want to say that I'm so happy that you all are watching her channel, and I hope that you continue to support her because I care so much about her and what she achieves, and she's achieved so much.
Well, Happy New Year to my wonderful subbies, my long time and new, all of you. Happy New Year. I really appreciate you watching my videos, you know, the past 3 years or however long I've had this channel. I don't even remember. Thank you for your support and your constant love, just watching my videos. I really appreciate it, and those of you who comment and share your thoughts really means a lot to me, because I really love the back and forth, you know, to kind of have that conversation with you guys about a shared love, which is love for fragrance, right? So I am bringing you my first video of the new year 2025. Woohoo! Happy New Year 2025! Here's to a wonderful, happy, and prosperous new year. We had a wonderful holiday break. And now it's back to reality, back to work, back to the grind, right? But it's good, it's good. Work keeps you busy and alive. Anyway. What is better to start the new year with than Chanel fragrances, right? I have a massive Chanel fragrance collection and I never thought to do a video. I don't know. I've done collection videos on many brands and I just haven't done one about my massive Chanel collection. And I'm like, it's time. And Chanel is my good luck charm. What's better to start the new year with than Chanel fragrances? I have nearly 20 Chanel fragrances here with me on my table here. I think more than ranking, it's best to tell you the ones that I love the most, because I love them all. But there are a few standouts that I will kind of point out as I talk about them, instead of like ranking them, you know what I mean? I think it's better to just tell you, this is one of my favorites, okay? So that's what I'm going to do. So let's jump right in. And I'm, of course, going to start with an unboxing, actually. This is something I meant to do like the end of last year, but it just kept getting pushed off. So right here in this beautiful packaging, I have a treat, okay? So this is actually one of the Chanel holiday collection releases right here. As you can see, it's Chanel number 5, of course. Right here inside we have the pretty atomizer, travel atomizer of the classic Chanel number 5. I've wanted to do this for a long time, so this is what the beautiful little keychain is. You can take it out of there if you want, if you don't want to take the chain around. And here it is. This is the Chanel number 5 in a travel spray. I'm not going to spray this one because I have my Chanel full bottle right here, but I wanted to do this unboxing video. With the last holiday collection, Chanel came out with 2 of these. So this is the number 5 that came in the black and gold classic packaging for this travel atomizer. And then Chanel also released the Chanel number 5 Le in a black and white travel atomizer, just like this. I didn't get that one because I have Le in another sort of compact packaging, and I'll show you here in a minute. So this also came with 2 of the refills. So I have 2 refills, and I can of course purchase as many refills as I want, because Chanel number 5 refills will never go away. There'll always be a classic on Chanel.com that I can buy as many as I want as I run out. I love the little fuzzy pouch that this came in. If you missed any of my Chanel makeup collection reviews, like the holiday collection review or the holiday gift sets review on my other channel, check it out, because I bought several holiday sets with which I got this cute little pouch, this fuzzy, beautiful bags that we got this year. You will see the gift sets are also in that same packaging. So I got this beautiful little pouch with it, and of course with a bunch of samples inside. And I got right here, I forgot to, actually I didn't get to share my charms with you in my holiday gift sets video on my other channel because I hadn't received my charms yet, but my essay gave me my charms afterwards. So I got this beautiful charm. I got this Chanel No. 5 bottle charm with a little thing on the side, and I got another one of these snowflakes. By the way, the snowflakes actually are CCs that I made into a snowflake there. So it looks like I have three No. 5 charms here. And then I have on a big keychain here, several of the key charms as well. So I have 3 charms here. I have a CC charm right here, right there. And then I have the No. 5 bottle charm, and I have another snowflake here. So I have altogether, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 charms all together, so that's awesome. I love Chanel charms, so you can actually hang them up on your bags, your perfumes, whatever you want to do with them, you know, so cute. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys in the beginning of this video because I didn't get to share my charms in my holiday sets video on my other channel, and then I never actually got to share my little Chanel No. 5 travel atomizer that came out limited edition with the holiday collection. Okay, so I'm gonna review, guess what? Chanel No. 5, the first perfume I'm gonna review. Okay, this got a little gross. I don't know why. This was the anniversary, the 100th anniversary special edition, that this Chanel No. 5 actually that I got. So I don't know how this got dirty. I have to find a way to clean it because this is the special packaging that the Chanel No. 5 came in for the 100th anniversary. So right there, as you guys know, Marilyn Monroe's signature scent was Chanel No. 5. She famously said that she only wore Chanel No. 5 to bed, which means she went to bed with nothing on but Chanel No. 5. Very provocative. Anyway, so this is Chanel No. 5. Now keep in mind, this is not the classic Chanel No. 5 that Marilyn Monroe would have worn, because that Chanel No. 5 got reformulated, and personally I like our new modern version here. So let me, yeah, this modern version in my opinion is a little bit more, well, modern, but also more upbeat and effervescent, and you know, with that aldehyde note, which is what Chanel No. 5 is famous for. Chanel No. 5 made aldehydes famous, or aldehydes made Chanel No. 5 famous. I don't know, I think both. Oh, this is so classic, so pretty. It's just, you know, very classy, feminine scent that has this feline kind of allure to it, if that makes sense to you. I don't know if you know this about me, but I love to watch nature programs, like, you know, any show about nature. Actually, Alone is one of my favorite shows when it comes to nature shows. I also watch, what is his name? The dude that goes on like wild tours. It's the Primal Survivor, right? I love that show. I watch a lot of nature shows, let's just put it that way. One of those shows, they were talking about big cats and how they lure big cats to do different studies on them. And they were talking about how they spray like watered down Chanel No. 5 on posts and stick them in the ground and cats like lions, leopards, and all type of feline big cats, they would come sniffing Chanel number 5. Like they would, like sniff it out, and then that's how they lure the big cats to do different like studies on them. And I thought, wow, there must be something very attractive about Chanel number 5 to felines. But I will say this, if you ever plan to go on a wild safari, don't wear Chanel number 5 just to be safe. The standout notes to me in Chanel number 5 are the aldehydes very prominently. When it comes to florals, the jasmine is prominent, and there are some citrus notes in the opening definitely, and there's a very sensual dry down with that very sensual woody note, sandalwood. Those are the standout notes for me in Chanel number 5. Okay, so I hear that the people who have the original Chanel number 5 from like the days of Marilyn Monroe, like from the 50s, 60s, or whatever, they say that that version was a lot more potent and lasted even longer. By the way, Chanel number 5 even today is one of the longest lasting fragrances on me. I don't know everybody else, but it's definitely a long lasting fragrance. And I have to say, but people do say that the original version was a little bit much, as in it was very potent. It was a little bit in your face, like a little bit more very like vintage smelling, if you know what I mean. Whereas this new formulated version is very modern and wearable today, right? So that's the biggest difference that I see. Oh my gosh, the dry down, I gotta say, is super pretty. I wish I could make this my scent of the day, although I have like so many to spray on. I might do blotter cards for the rest of them, you guys, just so that I can make Chanel number 5 my scent of the day. All right, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wear Chanel number 5 today, okay? So this will be my scent of the day today, and I will use blotter cards for the rest. So I didn't used to like Chanel number 5. It wasn't my thing, all right? Because I thought it was a little bit vintage, but it has been reformulated a couple of times. But whatever this version is after the 100th anniversary, I feel it's very pretty, okay? So now Chanel number 5 is one of my favorite Chanel fragrances in my collection. So very much a classic, still very much alive. Did you know this is the top #1 fragrance that is most sold around the world even today? That's right. Chanel number 5 will never die. 100 years later, she's still popular. She's still sexy. She's still going. Okay, so I've got my blotter cards here. Next one I want to review is right here. This is Chanel Coco Mademoiselle. Again, another classic, another favorite, another famous Chanel fragrance, obviously. Oh, yeah. This is beautiful too. I will say this one is very much that Chanel DNA too, but there is a very, almost like a slightly sweet but earthy patchouli note in here that kind of stands out. Okay, so those of you who are not fans of patchouli will not find this very appealing, but I love it because this has that very classic Chanel DNA with that almost edible way that patchouli smells. It's an earthy note, but something very edible about patchouli, if you know what I mean. So it adds this sort of third dimension to this fragrance. It has a very warm, like there's a warmth about this fragrance. Now, Chanel number 5 is all about this sunny brightness, right? Because aldehydes tend to be like a ray of sunshine because it's this very effervescent, bubbly, bright fragrance note. And there's no patchouli in that from what I can smell. Even if there was, it's not noticeable. Now this is a different kind of beautiful. This one is very kind of warm because of that warm like florals that are in here. It's like a very warm floral fragrance. And then the most noticeable notes in here, which I love, by the way. You know I love any kind of rose. Now there's a Turkish rose note in here in Coco Mademoiselle that I absolutely adore. And there's like mandarin orange or some kind of like syrupy orange in here. Oh, I love this too. Coco Mademoiselle is another classic, okay? And it will never go away. You know, it's just one of those things that will live forever. Oh, this is so pretty. And this is another fragrance that will stay with you till the next day. Like, I mean, when I wear this, I would take a shower and it's there the next day, okay? So like, it's that kind of fragrance. It's absolutely beautiful. Unless you hate patchouli, you're gonna love this fragrance because there's nothing to hate about it. It's absolutely gorgeous. That patchouli note, in my opinion, is very well blended, and it's almost like I wouldn't say sweet, but there's like something edible about it. Oh, both of these two, super long lasting. Another one of my top favorites from Chanel. Both of these ladies, these two very feminine fragrances, they're very classy. Okay, they're both classy, okay? But I'll say this one, Madeline was a classy lady. I don't care what you think. She was a classy lady. Yes, she had sex appeal, but she was a classy lady. So this is definitely Marilyn and this is Audrey, okay? Marilyn Monroe and Audrey Hepburn. That's how I think of these two. That's actually would be the type of woman that would wear it. Coco Mademoiselle is a little bit more buttoned up, a little bit more formal, classy. Then we have another classic, Chanel Coco. This one right here. This one is a very ambery warm fragrance. Also in the warm family. I would say that this is more of an amber warm amber. Okay. Oh man, this smells gorgeous too. Oh my gosh. These have sat in my collection now for a long time. So this one is a warm amber floral, but I will tell you that this one, believe it or not, has a, I think, ylang ylang note. I don't know if it's revealed or not, but I can smell a gorgeous, gorgeous yellow floral that screams summer. Now, this is a warm, ambery type of fragrance. You can tell by the juice color, it's ambery. And obviously can be worn in cold weather because these are long-lasting fragrances, this too. But you know what? This can be worn in the summertime as well, summer nights, because this has some sort of yellow floral like ylang ylang. I can smell it. And I was right. I just looked up the notes. I was right. This has ylang ylang. This has jasmine. There's a very sweet, syrupy mandarin orange, which really complements the yellow florals in here. This has Tunisian orange blossom, which makes it really beautiful. Orange blossom is such a gorgeous floral, you guys. It just jazzes up any floral fragrance. And then this has a little bit of patchouli, which is almost undetectable. Then there's benzoin and amber. I'm pretty sure benzoin is a resin note. It smells like vanilla, but it's a resin note. It smells like amber vanilla, but it's a resin note. And there's tonka bean. So this is that beautiful, almost summertime smelling fragrance, but very sexy, very much nighttime though. That actually can be worn in cold weather as well because it's very potent. It lasts for a long time, but when you smell it, you think of summer, if that makes sense, because of that very strong ylang ylang note in here combined with the jasmine and orange blossom. Definitely gives me that memories of summer, but it's a warm floral. This one is a little bit warm and spicy, slightly spicy. There's gotta be some kind of warm spice in here that's not revealed. Maybe not cinnamon, but you know, there's something spicy about it, little bit. but the thing that I smell the most, like the longer this sits in your collection, the more you're going to smell the ylang ylang, the summer floral notes, like those solar notes, as we call it, the jasmine, the orange blossom, and the ylang ylang. Those are what you're gonna, those middle notes, that's what you're going to smell the most the longer this sits in your collection, with of course the base notes of tonka bean, the amber, the benzoin, all of those warm base notes as well. Gorgeous, gorgeous feminine fragrance. This is like a two polar opposites in one. So this almost has this like carefree, hair in the wind kind of summer feel to it, but also has very classic, classy, buttoned up side to it. So it's kind of one of those, you know, like weird fragrances. Oh my God, I love this one as well. It's one of my favorites from my entire Chanel collection. Well, I guess you guys are going to hear this about all my Chanel fragrances because I love them all, really, honestly. And the next one right here, as tiny as she looks, she's potent, fits on my palm. This is actually Gabrielle Chanel. This is the Parfum version. So this is the potent, concentrated oil version. This is like 30 plus oil concentrate, no, nearly 30, I should say. It's the Parfum. It's stronger than Eau de Parfum or any other ones. Oh, this one is different from the other three that I just talked about. Actually, each of them are different in their own way. This one is also kind of like Coco, but different. So this one is a little bit more bright and bubbly than the Coco. Coco is a more serious yet free. Like I said, this is two polar opposites in that fragrance. This one is very much that hair in the wind kind of like feel. This also has ylang ylang. It's a yellow floral fragrance through and through, in my opinion, Gabrielle Chanel, because those yellow floral notes that are in here, very, very prominent, and the other solar notes like orange blossom and tuberose. Now, tuberose is what makes the difference in this one, because tuberose has, I wouldn't call it bubblegum, but tuberose has that very tuberose smell. People call it bubblegum. I guess that's the closest thing we can compare it to. But when it's natural tuberose, it's not like bubblegummy, but it has that sort of, you know, that sweet white floral scent, which takes this fragrance in a different direction with that ylang ylang and orange blossom. This one to me is more of a carefree, you know, like playful, hair in the wind. It's not so buttoned up, but still has that classic, classy DNA that Chanel is very well known for. Now, this is named after Chanel herself. Of course, Coco's named after her too, because Coco was her like pet name or her fun name that she gave herself. Now, Gabrielle was her real name, Gabrielle Chanel, right? Chanel was a woman who spoke her mind, who wasn't afraid to be who she was, right? She once famously said, I decided who I wanted to be, and that is who I am. Now, that is my kind of woman, because that's who I am, okay? So this is definitely very much that type of fragrance. It's like, this is who I am, what I decided to be, and this is who I am type of fragrance right here. It is a very beautiful yellow floral with a little bit of that fun, playful kind of vibe that has tuberose, that gives it a playful, feminine, but a little bit youthful as well fragrance in the Chanel portfolio, Gabrielle Chanel. Next, I have a parfum from the Les Exclusives line of Chanel fragrances. This is Chanel Gardenia Parfum. Okay, so Parfum is the purest, most concentrated version of fragrance that you can get in the Chanel portfolio. This actually, now my wax stamp I broke my wax stamp. There was a wax stamp here. There's a cotton thread that holds the cap like that, 2 cotton threads. I broke the seal, of course, because I've used it. So it comes in a dabber bottle. This is a 0.5 fluid ounce bottle. Ooh, okay, now I'm gonna smell like number 5 in Gardenia. I have to do that when I see a dabber, okay? So now that I have it on my fingertip, I'm just gonna smell my fingertip, or right out of here. Oh my goodness, this is such a beautiful Gardenia, pure, natural green Gardenia, which smells absolutely fantastic. It's a very creamy green Gardenia fragrance, and because it's parfum, it is so concentrated, and they say this smells the closest to Chanel's beloved flower, camellia, right? So oh my gosh, it smells absolutely divine. It's a very beautiful, creamy, green, white floral fragrance. I think of a bride when I smell this fragrance. There's something very ethereal and gorgeous, drop dead goddess feminine about this fragrance. That concentration of the parfum just puts it over the top. This lasts forever and ever and ever, and leaves an amazing sillage behind. This beautiful dabber bottle just makes me feel like a queen, you know what I mean? Again, beautiful, creamy, green floral heart. Gardenia is the note I smell the most, but I will tell you, I smell other solar fragrance notes in here. Yes, I feel like I smell tiare flower in here, believe it or not. Maybe some tuberose. Yeah, I smell tuberose. I smell maybe tiare flower. It's probably not revealed. This is just what I'm picking up. But that Gardenia is what's very prominent. Absolutely gorgeous fragrance. I enjoy this very much. It's reserved for special occasions. This is a pretty penny, expensive, beautiful, ethereal, goddess bride-like fragrance that lasts forever because it's a parfum. I have another parfum, the purest concentrated version of a Chanel fragrance here from the Les Exclusives line. This is Chanel 1932. This is another predominantly aldehydic fragrance. Did I tell you Gardenia is another favorite of mine? This is why I didn't want to rank these fragrances in this video. How do I rank it, right? I will tell you my top 1 favorite. I will tell you that much. Okay, I'll tell you my top 3 favorite at the end of the video, okay? But I can't really quite rank the Chanel fragrances. Oh, this is beautiful. So this has a beautiful aldehyde note. No, this is 1932. This has very much like that Chanel number 5, the original DNA with that aldehyde kind of vibe in the background. I don't know if it's revealed, but okay, let me tell you a little bit about why this is 1932. So in 1932 is when Coco Chanel launched her first high jewelry collection. So this fragrance pays homage to that. So it's kind of trying to capture the jewelry, you know, sort of vibe in here. There's an aldehyde note, whether it's revealed or not. There's definitely an aldehyde note in here, but what's prominent is that beautiful jasmine note that's in here. There's a pear note in here that makes this very feminine. You guys know how I feel about pear, because pear is one of the most juiciest, you know, most feminine, gorgeous fruity notes ever. It has very, very sparkling citrus notes like grapefruit, but it's really that aldehydes, the jasmine and the pear that really define this fragrance. Of course, the citruses are in the background as well, right in the opening with the aldehyde. Yeah, this is supposed to capture the the sparkling jewelry, right? So it makes sense. There's aldehydes in here and jasmine, the very sparkling notes. So yeah, beautiful, long lasting, because it's a parfum. Like I said, it lasts a long time. very concentrated. Okay, then I have two more of the Les Exclusives line, but these are not the Parfum versions. These are Eau de Parfum. So I've got Chanel Beige, which is another one of my favorites. Now I'm kicking myself for not buying the Parfum version of this because the performance, for the first time I will say, of all the Chanel fragrances that I've talked about so far, this is not the best performance because it's Eau de Parfum and also it's very luminescent, white floral type fragrance, so the lasting power isn't the best. It lasts about 5 hours, which is average, which is good by the way, but it's not terrible, but I wish lasted longer. So I wish I had bought the Parfum version. Now I have to wait for this to be over so that I can get the Parfum. Okay, so let me spray it. This is like I said, this has got one of my favorite fragrance notes, which I absolutely adore. It has frangipani. Oh my god, this smells so darn amazing. If you can't tell, this is one of my top favorites from Chanel, obviously. Frangipani is one of the prettiest, most goddess-like yellow white floral notes ever to have existed. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful, so like light and airy and just very breezy type of fragrance with that very summery feel, okay? Because of the fact that there is frangipani in here with other solar notes, this has got a very summery vibe to it. By the way, I love these magnetic caps. Yeah, this is definitely 100% a summertime fragrance. Now, all the other ones I talked about can be worn any time of the year, I would say. Everything before this that I told you about or talked about can be worn any time of the year, okay? Although I have preferences as to which season I would wear them, depending on the mood, the notes. But whereas this, I would say through and through a summertime fragrance. This has got that beautiful frangipani note with hawthorn, which is another very mild floral. So that frangipani with that yellow floral scent really smells like honeyed frangipani because there's a honey note in here that it's like almost like that very beautiful yellow floral frangipani's petals are dripping with honey, okay? That's kind of what this smells like. Absolutely stunning, goddess-like, feminine, dripping feminine fragrance. As you guys know, Coco Chanel's favorite color was beige. She did a lot of fashion in beige. A lot of things were beige. She once said, I take comfort in beige because it's natural. It's neutral. So this is Chanel Beige because this is a very simple fragrance. Very natural fragrance, okay? Super natural. The frangipani in here is definitely natural frangipani oil. Oh my gosh, it smells absolutely divine. Again, a through and through summertime fragrance, warm weather fragrance. If you wear this, you wear it on the hottest days during summer. That way, you know, it'll compensate for the lack of lasting power as well. And also, of course, the notes definitely represent summer. So Chanel Beige is one of my top 3 favorites. Okay, then I have another fragrance from the Les Exclusives collection, another aldehyde fragrance. This is 1957. Also has that sparkling, effervescent aldehyde note. Obviously, let me spray it. This one has a little bit of aldehyde, I think. But what stands out about this is a very iris kind of blue floral type fragrance with that iris note and powdery notes that this has. Feminine actress of somebody in front of a well-lit mirror putting on lipstick kind of fragrance, you know, that very sensual powdery iris type of feminine notes that smell like makeup. This has a big dose of white musk, which makes it super sexy, adds to that sexiness or classy sexiness, I should say, that iris and powdery notes add to fragrances. Really complements the white musk, that sort of makeup smelling iris powdery notes. This has, you know, sparkling citrus notes like bergamot, very fresh. This has a little lacing, a hint of honey, I think also, but the honey note is not very prominent at all. It's a very luminescent makeup kind of smelling powdery iris fragrance, you know what I mean? This is mainly basically a powdery iris fragrance that is very luminescent, very feminine. This is named 1957 because Chanel received the Neiman Marcus Award in 1957 for the most world-renowned fashion designer award or something like that. So the last fragrance from the Les Exclusives collection here, I have in so many samples. I actually have sample bottles of, like, this is only 5, but I have, like, I should say close to 15 of them, because I purchased so many Chanel things, you know, bags, fragrances, makeup, what have you, and I get samples every time. And these are all my Coromandel samples. I never have to buy Coromandel in my entire life, okay? So as you guys know, so let me take one of the samples out. I'm not going to obviously open all of them. They are all Coromandel. These are tiny little bitty bottles of Coromandel. It's so cute. Okay, let me show you. Oh, look at this. Look at this, so cute. I have like 15 of these, actually enough to fill a large bottle with. So I never have to buy Coromandel. Anyway, this one right here is a very ambery, not smoky, incensey, deep fragrance, okay? This is why I never bought a full bottle of Coromandel, because I'm not a huge fan of deep ambery incensey fragrances. Not really my thing. I know there are a lot of you out there who love that type of, you know, fragrance. So but it's beautiful. By the way, deep ambery incensey fragrance with a very big dose of patchouli. When I say very big, don't get scared. I know there are a bunch of you out there who really hate patchouli. Like a few of you, right? And you know, it's a personal thing. I get it. But the patchouli in here smells delicious. It smells almost edible. Like I told you, patchouli has this sort of, it's an earthy note, kind of earthy, woody-ish kind of note, but it has this sort of almost edible quality to it, like just like kind of want to bite it. You know, it smells like a, I don't know, very like earthy kind of dessert. Like I don't know how to explain it exactly. So the patchouli note is quite prominent in here. So if you're not a patchouli lover, you would not like this. This has a huge dose of amber. This has frankincense. Again, I'm not a massive fan of frankincense, the incense note. I like incense notes, but frankincense in particular to me can be a little bit, not cloying, but a little strong, okay? So kind of church-like. Do you know what I mean? Like, because they burn, you know, frankincense in church. Well, amber, and also this has, I forgot, benzoin. So amber and benzoin together, they really complement. Benzoin is a resin note that smells kind of like amber vanilla. So yeah, very deep, ambery, slightly sweet, earthy fragrance, Coromandel. There's very, I mean, it's not like your average patchouli or ambery incensey fragrance because it's Chanel. It has that very Chanel DNA about it. So there's very much that classy lady, classy, you know, this is unisex actually. I would say unisex, but I mean, it leans feminine, but it has that classy DNA because it's Chanel. It's not my favorite, only because I'm not a fan of frankincense and ambery. So like incensey, ambery fragrance, I'm not a huge fan of. That's the only reason. But if I were to ever like an ambery incensey fragrance, I would love this one because it has that Chanel DNA that makes it lighter and more fashionable, more classy. Then I have a fragrance from the Chanel Eau de Toilette line of fragrances, Les Eaux de Chanel. Right here, this is Chanel Paris. This one, you guys, is this very sparkling, floral, romantic, and woody kind of fragrance. Let me tell you. This is very fresh. This to me is a summertime fragrance, although you can wear this all year long. Don't get me wrong. This opens with lemon and tangerine, very, you know, sparkling, citrus, fresh. It has a beautiful romantic rose damascena note. I love rose fragrances. You guys know this has that earthiness from the patchouli, which almost make the rose smell like a fresh picked rose from the garden. Beautiful. It's an earthy rose fragrance with an effervescent quality, light airiness because it's a eau de toilette. But I will say, you guys, this projects like crazy. Though this is an eau de toilette concentration, don't be fooled. This projects really well and lasts a long time. I get compliments. Actually, when I went to, a lot of the times when I go shopping, I wear this. When I go to our high-end shopping complex, or, you know, anywhere I'm shopping at Chanel, I wear this and I always get compliments, but mostly from the Chanel sales associates, but I also have gotten compliments from others. By the way, I didn't talk about compliments. I will say I get compliments on most of my Chanel fragrances. I really do. It's very unassuming, you know. It's not like you slap you in the face, sex you, punch you in the face, like, you know, whatever. It's not that type of fragrance, but that's what people like. People love things that don't, like, you know, are not in your face, and there's like a element of class even with the most sexy fragrance in the Chanel portfolio, you know. This is beautiful. I love that rose damascena, which is what makes it absolutely stunning. I like to wear this in summertime, but this is a all year round fragrance. It's actually a gray fragrance, as you can see. This is great actually for fall. So it's actually a fragrance that's really good even in fall and winter, but I do wear this in the summer and spring, basically all year round. This is like one of the many amazing things about Chanel fragrances, because you can wear them all year round, you know, most of them. I would say, except maybe Chanel Beige is a very exclusively summertime fragrance, in my opinion, for many reasons that I just shared with you. And then I have two very, very different fragrances here that isn't going to be mass appealing. I will start with that because this is a very much a unique type of taste that these two appeal to, which I like. I love a good green fragrance. I don't know how many of you are out there who appreciate and love a good green fragrance. I'm not talking color, but green notes. But these happen to be kind of green too in color. So let me first talk about the more potent version here. This is Chanel number 19 Eau de Parfum right here. This is a very uniquely green fragrance. Green to a point where it's very, very unique and, you know, like I said, won't maybe appeal to the masses. Very sharp green fragrance. This has notes like galbanum, which nowadays I don't even see in fragrances that type of green notes anymore. Galbanum is this very beautiful green fragrance that gives you like this, it makes you picture like the woods, you know, like it makes you picture going through, like almost like make you feel like you're a nymph, you know, in your nymphy, like water dripping green, like earthy attire, you know, your thing, your creature look. You're running through the meadow, you know, through the woods, that sort of very fresh green kind of fragrance. Like I said, this will not be everybody's cup of tea at all, and I will not recommend these to everybody, okay? If you are very particularly a fan of fragrances like, Do you remember Ralph Lauren's Safari? If you like that type of fragrance from the 90s, like very, you know, have green notes, very adventurous, exotic, that's this type of fragrance right here, because this has galbanum, and I remember that one, the Safari, which, you know, the name says it all, had galbanum as well. This is a very daring, floral, woody green fragrance. It's a very daring, uncompromising fragrance, quite like Chanel. This apparently pays homage, the number 19 pays homage to the day she was born, which was August 19th, okay? That's why this possesses the qualities that was Chanel, you know, daring and uncompromising, you know? So very much a strong woman kind of fragrance. Not for everybody, not for the faint of heart. It has this very green, vibrant galbanum note, like I told you guys. Galbanum is with this very green, fresh, kind of like a vibrant note. That's all I can say. It gives things, perfumes, life, like the kind of alive you feel when you're alone in the woods, kind of like Alone, that show, right? This also has a beautiful, what makes this feminine to me is that beautiful powdery iris note that's in here. So to kind of balance out the very sharp, very daring, very vibrant galbanum, this has very soft, beautiful powdery notes with iris, which is also a powdery note. And this actually has other pretty floral notes as well. But what makes this sharp and daring and uncompromising is that galbanum note, okay? So the galbanum note gives it this vibrancy, this, you know, alone, a nymph in the wood kind of feel to it. But it's very feminine because it's got that iris, it's got the ylang-ylang, it's got the, you know, the rose, the beautiful, you know, lily of the valley. Those are what makes it super feminine. Now this is the Eau de Parfum. You know what's even more beautiful to me? So I bought Chanel number 19 before I realized that there was one that's even better than that right here. This is Chanel number 19 Poudre. Poudre means powdery, powder, right? So I didn't realize that this existed. Now, if I knew that, I would have actually just bought this and not bought the 19, because this is exactly what I want. I want that daring quality of the green notes and that beautiful, like, free feeling that the green notes have, but with a little bit more feminine even than the 19, which is what this is. This has more of the powdery note, the very feminine, powdery floral notes like iris. This one is lighter and more effervescent. Okay, so this is an actual Eau de Parfum, but this is the Poudre version, which has that powdery quality. The thing about the Poudre version is that in addition to that additional floral powdery notes like iris, more iris, maybe it has even violet, this actually has white musk. So that makes it very airy and wearable and light. So this is more of the wearable, everyday version of the 19, if you ask me. Although, now that I smell both of them, I have to say that 19 Poudre kind of loses the edge that the original 19 had because of how sharp and how daring it was, right? But if you want a more milder, more mass appealing and more wearable, airier version, Poudre is the way to go. Then I have this beautiful Chanel number 9 Le, okay? And I have this in this little egg-shaped bottle they came out with recently. This is why I didn't buy the travel atomizer of the Le, because I have very much a travel size, or travel friendly I should say, bottle of the Le, number 5 Le already right here. So this Le, it has Chanel number 5 DNA. I would say this is very light, okay? As you saw, I had to spray it twice. Not that you can't smell it on you. Yes, it does. I've worn this, you can smell it. But on the blotter card, I had to spray it twice, although on my skin, it does permeate more. This is a lighter fragrance. It's not going to last forever and forever and forever like Chanel No. 5 does, but it's also not weak. Now this has Chanel No. 5 DNA slightly. You can tell the relationship that this has with Chanel No. 5, but it's not really like Chanel No. 5. This is got that beautiful like syrupy citrus notes like mandarin too. This does also have ylang ylang. This is a little bit more airy, a little bit more light and fresh. Yeah, the ylang ylang you can smell very much. This is a light fragrance that is definitely for warmer months. It is the more light, more crowd pleasing or mass appealing version of Chanel No. 5, though they're not very similar at all. There's the DNA, but they go, you know, a little bit different. This is a much lighter version. It's also very summery, whereas Chanel No. 5 is any time of the year type of fragrance, despite the fact that it has, you know, solar notes. This one is so light that it is great for hot summer days, okay? That's what I recommend this for. This is definitely a fresh, floral, hot summer day type of fragrance. This should have aldehydes too, that makes it a little effervescent. I don't quite remember, but it should have aldehydes because Chanel No. 5 DNA definitely has, or should have aldehydes, okay? This one right here is a fresh summer fragrance right here. This is Chanel Chance Eau Fraîche. This is, as the name suggests, very fresh fragrance. Very citrusy, very light, very, if you ask me, feminine. Oh, but it's so pretty, so clean. This is one of those clean girl scents, if you will. Very high class or classy DNA that is Chanel. This is almost a little bit soapy, a little bit like right out of the shower scent type of scent. This is super fresh, very feminine, beautiful fragrance. You will stay smelling fresh for like ever, you know what I mean? Even if you were on an 18-hour flight without being able to shower, you will smell like you just stepped out of the shower. Great flight fragrance, by the way, in those situations where you can't take a shower twice a day, you know what I mean? This has citron, like different citrus notes. Jasmine is a very prominent note. It is a beautiful, fresh summer fragrance. This will keep you smelling fresh all day on hot summer days. I would recommend that very much for blazing hot summer days. Okay, that is what that's for. And another gorgeous Chance fragrance. So now that was Chanel Chance Eau Fraîche. Now this is Chanel Chance Eau Tendre. Okay, this one is a little different from Eau Fraîche. This one is, it's a fruity floral, this one. Oh, beautiful. I remember Jeremy Fragrance, you know, going on and on about how good this is. This is a very soft, tender, like kind of a happy fragrance, you know? That's all I feel happy when I smell this. And also Eau Fraîche. I think there's like this freshness about it. There's this fruitiness about this one that's different from Eau Fraîche, which is very citrusy kind of fresh. This is fruity fresh. These are named Chance. I think the line of Chance is named after the fact that Chanel said famously, I saw a chance and I took it. So that's why they're named Chance. You know, the fact that she took a chance on her own talent. This has a grapefruit note that's very fresh. And it has a quince note. You know, quince is this fruit that doesn't really have much of a smell. There is a fruity smell, but it's very kind of watery, fruity smell. So that is there in the opening. And it has a beautiful jasmine note. And it has loads of white musk, which makes it very light and airy and fresh and sexy. Okay, this is the kind of everyday fragrance that is great to wear to the office. I'd say this one is more for warm weather, although you can wear it all year. I would say Eau Fraîche and Tendre are for like spring and summer type fragrances, everyday wear, everyday office. You can't go wrong with it. You know, smelling fresh and appealing fresh is a category that appeals the most to people when it comes to smelling someone and thinking that person smells good, right? So in that sense, Chanel fragrances are very much a good choice to have, because it's always, no matter how deep notes are, there's this quality of like, not freshness, there's this like, you know, not even airy, this DNA about Chanel that is like very pleasing. Then I have a very deep and very sexy, deep, dark fragrance right here. This is Chanel Coco Noir. I'm grabbing a blotter card as I talk to you. Come on. So this is Chanel Coco Noir. Noir is black or night, essentially. So this is a very much, to me, an evening fragrance, as the name suggests. This one is very strong, like this. It's a strong woman fragrance, okay? Strong executive at a ball, work formal ball kind of fragrance, or work function that goes into the evening. This is very much that strong woman who wants to exude power, okay? That's what I think, class and power. This is a patchouli dominant fragrance, so for those of you who don't like patchouli, this isn't for you. This is also not for the faint of hearts. Like, this is a very strong, but Chanel DNA, but very strong. This has jasmine absolute, a bunch of other florals. I want to say there's rose in here too. There's a bourbon vanilla note, so this has got a bit of sweetness from that deep boozy bourbon vanilla. This has, you know, I think rose, yeah, rose absolute, which is what makes this very deep and, you know, kind of sexy and, I don't know, like nighttime in a way. Okay, there's something nighttime about this fragrance, very noir it is, okay? Very much for that powerful CEO or powerful famous actress that is sexy. I'm trying to think of somebody that, you know, I'm trying to think of somebody like that. It's like the girl boss, the girl CEO who has a brand of her own type of fragrance. It's very, very, I command this room type of fragrance, but it's also very appropriate for formal occasions, for work and all that. There's something sexy about it that comes from that feminine power, okay? Not like sexy, like raunchy sexy, but it's very classy, buttoned up. I am an independent woman kind of sexy. This is beautiful. This is a nighttime fragrance. I would say fall, winter type fragrance. Also nighttime fragrance. If you wear it in warmer months or you live in a warmer climate, I suggest you wear it at nighttime only when it's a little cool, like cooler, the weather's cool. So the last but not least, what I have is a men's fragrance here by Chanel. And my husband has a full bottle of this. He just can't find it since we did the move. Some of his fragrances got put somewhere. We're still trying to find them. And the full bottle is hiding somewhere. But anyway, this is Bleu de Chanel. This is a men's fragrance. I have the, what you call the Travelo sample size of it. Let me put it in a blotter card here. So this is a very fresh fragrance, very fresh sort of fragrance. It has a very classy yet masculine and bend. This has labdanum in it. Labdanum has kind of a leather nuance to it, which gives it a very sexy, luxurious touch. This has a very sensual dry down with sandalwood. There are some fresh citrus accord, but also I want to say like coniferous note of some sort, like evergreen note, you know, which men's fragrances tend to have. But this is a very fresh, classy office wear, nighttime office function, or nighttime, any going out, whatever. Fragrance, I think, smells super sexy on my husband. Beautiful, actually very sexy, manly yet sophisticated fragrance that is great for any kind of like black tie event, office function, whatever have you, even date night, okay? I really love it on him. It smells absolutely stunning. Okay, so I promised you guys I will tell you what my favorites are. So Chanel Beige is one of my favorite. Chanel Gardenia is my favorite, one of my favorites. I would say Gabrielle Chanel is another one of my favorites, and of course Chanel number 5. Those are my top favorites, I would say. And closely behind that would be Coco Chanel, you know, and oh, Chanel Paris, love it. Would be a close second behind those, and the rest of them kind of all fall in the same category. Still love them very much more than many of my fragrances, just giving you the top favorites, okay? Coromandel probably is the one that I like the least, only because it has frankincense and amber frankincense, incense fragrances. Not the category that I love the most, not because it's not a fabulous fragrance. You know, it smells amazing, and if I were to wear that category of fragrance, that would be the one I wear. So yeah, you guys, those are my Chanel fragrances in my massive Chanel collection. I plan to add more fragrances from the Les Exclusives line. I have my eyes on several of them that I'm going to be adding. So stay tuned for more of the hauls with more Chanel fragrances and other fragrances. Let me know this year, in the new year, what type of content you want to see from my channel, what you want to see more of, what you don't want to see. Let me know it down in the comment section. Please chime below, otherwise I can't read minds if you guys don't speak up. You know what I mean? It really helps me out. Not to mention, it helps with my channel engagement. It helps me feel great, like interacting with you guys. Just please chime down below. I really love it when you guys have a conversation with me. Now, I have decided part of my New Year's resolution for my channel this year is to upload twice a week. I am nailing down the dates. I used to upload Thursday and Sunday. I'm changing it to Wednesday and Sunday. Okay, so Wednesday 10 a.m. Eastern time instead of 9. I used to upload at 9. So Wednesday 10 a.m. Eastern time and Sunday 10 a.m. Eastern time will be the new upload date, okay? If I miss one day, at least I will bring you content once a week, but most of the weeks it'll be twice a week. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, if you watch my videos every time. And if you want to not miss any of them, you have to ring the notification bell as well. Subscribing isn't enough. By the way, YouTube did another crazy thing and involuntarily unsubscribed bunch of you guys. You've been messaging me that YouTube is unsubscribing you. So please check to make sure you are still subscribed to my channel, because the algorithm went and did some crazy stuff and now a bunch of you are unsubscribed from my channel. YouTube be doing crazy stuff, okay? So check that, and of course don't forget to follow me on Instagram and other social media. Hop on over to my fabulous luxury high-end makeup and beauty channel, Cleo Luxe Life, where I just uploaded a video about the best makeup and beauty releases, best of the best of 2024. I tried them all, you guys. I bought every new release, trust me, and I know what the best of the best were, okay? Don't forget to catch that video. I will see you guys in my next video.